And you ready?
Yeah.
All right, fellas, here we are. We're at Behind the Brand. It's been a long time since we've done this, but I'm really excited. So this is brought to you, this is DirectLine Media. We're down here in Brantford, and it's brought to you by our famous 60-second video, one price flat rate video package. Check that out. And if you want to interested in recording your podcast, we can do that either here in our studios or at your place. Really great guest here. It's been a long time since we've been together. Last time I think we were together was a couple years ago shooting one of your videos, which I loved.
Right.
Doing that. Flakko, what's up, man? How you doing?
So right when COVID started, remember that?
Yeah, that's right. It was right when
that video, Rico.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
Rico. Yeah,
Rico.
It was right when COVID started, or a few months into it, or whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a wild thing. That's been like 2-3 years.
It's been a couple of years. Yeah, it's been a couple of years. We were out at the at a gravel pit, and you had your crew there. We had a little dog with us, and it was a blast. Yeah,
man. Great video, great times, great
Yeah.
vibes, definitely.
Yeah, that was great. So thanks for coming down here. I know it was a trip for you to get down here to Brantford, but you're breaking in the studios. The first production here in our new studio. So thanks for coming on down.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Cool. So this is Behind the Brand. So I do want to talk a little bit about your brand, and I think you're big on branding, right? So you put it out there. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I'm curious about your name, Flakko.
Flakko?
Yeah. So let's start. I want to start there.
That's honestly, like, if you know Spanish, you obviously know Flakko is basically just skinny in Spanish. Like, honestly, everyone's been calling me Flakko since I was a little kid. I just been that skinny kid that everybody knew about in the family and all that. So I just stuck by it. I'm like, you know what? Like, if no one's gonna call me by my real name, I'm just gonna go by Flakko. And I stuck by that, by the music name, and everyone started calling me Flock after that, and then before you know it, like, people barely know my name anymore unless you're like family. Like,
You want to tell us your name?
Felix.
Felix. All right.
Yeah. Real Hispanic name.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's funny. We were listening to Jaco Pastorius when you came in. I had it on, and his son is named Felix. Not many people. He played, whatever. Long story, but he played a gig up in East Lyme, and so Felix. So you don't hear that name too often.
Nah,
So very cool.
Different.
Very cool. How'd you get started in music?
Just school, man. Like, I was always in middle school, and around that time, I was around this certain circle. That it was every time in the morning when I would go to school, it would be this little circle where all these kids would just be rapping, and I just, for some reason, always wanted to be a part of that circle, but I just never, had the guts to do it. But, I started, trying it, and I was always low-key with my stuff, especially writing. I never really put it out there. It started with poetry, and then slowly got into filling it into beats and all that, and grew from there. So I would say, honestly, I did start writing at about 10, 11 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't start recording, though, till like 17, 18 years old. So I didn't have my first single till I was like 19. That's when my first official single was done.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was actually a Spanish song, too, which is crazy. Like, it's not even, like, my first, language.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was... Yeah, that's that.
So the words came first. It sounds like you started writing some poetry and some rhymes and stuff like that, and then you started putting those to beats, or did it kind of evolve over time?
I had this friend who told me, he was very cool with me at the time, and he knew that I always write, and I would have a certain set of friends that I would feel comfortable, showing them my craft, and one of those friends ended up investing in a microphone. And when he started finessing it, making it happen, this was when Mixcraft was out at the time. He actually had that. He made it happen, and he recorded himself doing some funny stuff, and he wanted to record me doing a single. So, I tried it. He wanted me to try a Spanish single. Gave it a shot. Fell in love with the song. After that, I was like in there every day just trying to record something, and then started investing in my own studio. Grew my own studio. That took about 3-4 years of work and investing, and I made that happen, and that's how I dropped my first couple mixtapes. And after that, I just couldn't keep going as far as engineering. So I sold everything, and I just started taking all that money and investing into my music more. you know, farther studio time and like photo shoots and video shoots and marketing, promoting, whatever it was that I needed to invest and push my music further, you know.
So you're all self-funded. Everything
Yeah,
that you do. It comes right out of your pocket.
right out of my pocket, yeah. Like I literally invested so much money into this. It's like if I told you how much, you wouldn't even believe me. Like, and I don't see it as a waste either. Like the way I see it is like it's gonna pay off soon. It's literally all in the word. It'll pay off soon, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I mean that's
Patience.
It's patience like anything, right? You got to believe in yourself, and I think you do just from the music you produce and what I've seen out there in social. How's social? When you started, there wasn't social media like it is now,
Nah,
right?
it was actually it was a lot easier, I would say, back then.
Really?
Because I would honestly, you know, make about 100 copies of this 10-song project I just did and engineer it myself, and then make a couple copies real quick, go to the streets, sell it in the streets to my boys, pass it around to a couple people I don't know. It was easier to get my name and, you know, my music out there that way. Now it's all about, you know, algorithms. So, like, if you're not into your algorithms and that time that you post stuff and the kind of content you're posting and people don't know about you, man, forget it. They're not even going to know about your music, period.
You can't go out in the street and sell your. I mean, there's no tapes anymore.
I mean, you
right?
could
People
now,
tapes.
but it's not as valuable as it used to
Yeah.
be, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, now people wouldn't even, like, they'll see a mixtape and they're like, I wouldn't want to buy that. If anything, I'd rather stream it.
Yeah. So how does that come in? Because you said you go and you sell it, right? So that's cash, right? You get a tape or disc and you get in your cash. Now it's up on Spotify, you're up there, a couple other places. So how does that work? Do people just, they're listening to it and you're not getting any money for it? How does it, has that affected you? How does that work?
It's tough with the streams because I've gotten a single on Spotify that got above 10,000 streams. And valuable and money-wise, I would say I only got about $20 out of that.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just
kidding.
Spotify, and it, like, if you add everything else, it's still, the numbers is not up there. Like, you have to really get 100+ streams and have these monthly listeners that are literally engaged into all your music and become your, you know, faithful audience. And because if they're not loyal to your music, forget it, man. It's so hard to, if they're, like, for example, if they're no longer following your music, it's hard to get an update on any of your music, you know?
Okay.
So it's just, you got to keep them updated. That's why consistency is so hard, because it's like, it's money into that too.
And you do that too? You do all the updates? You do all your own posting?
Yeah, I
all
do
that?
everything without no manager. I never really had a manager.
So you
ever.
do everything?
I gave a couple people a shot, and it just
Yeah.
got me nowhere, you know.
So you schedule the photo shoots, you record the music, you do the posts. You got, I mean, we got one of your video guys here with us today, so he's shooting a little video. But you're gonna take that and you're gonna end up posting that. But you take care of all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, like, I plan everything ahead of time. You know, I'm thinking, you know, I have this big project in mind. This is the amount of time I want as far as studio time spent. This is the amount of videos I want. And behind the scenes, you know, a little video behind the scenes helps people see how I work, how I get it done. Because that could, you know, encourage people too, you know, motivate them. Shout out to Jay King, by the way, behind the scenes guy. If y'all need work done. But yeah, I don't mind spending the money, man. I'm gonna keep spending it until I get where I need to be, and if I don't get there, hopefully I'll get my kids where they need to be.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do with your money, right? I mean,
Right.
you got to use it for what you believe in.
Exactly.
Otherwise, what's the point?
My heart's gonna stay in this regardless, you know.
Good.
like,
Yeah.
But as far as pushing my career, that's gonna be when, you know, investing comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you looking for a label? I mean, is that something, if somebody came out and wanted to sign you up, would you sign with anybody? Would it have to be at anybody? Of course, you wouldn't sign with anybody, but what are you looking for maybe in a label or a producer or anything like that?
Just to basically make my own brand legitimate, you know, push my own label. That's honestly my dream. Like, if I'm living comfortably, that's all I want, as long as my family's living comfortably. If I got my own label, you know, pushing my own artists, motivating them, because I've done that plenty of times before, you know, and that's honestly my goal. That's where I want to be, you know, in a spot, in a place where I'll wake up and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go to work, man. Let's get it done.
Yep.
It's not a place where I'm like, all right, let me make this money and let me get out.
Yep.
That's literally been my whole life now. That's why I always push that money into that stress and build it into something else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I get you. You know, if you really love something, you try hard at it and you keep working at it like you're doing, you know, money will come, right? It's always, sometimes
Money comes and goes.
Sometimes it takes a while, but the money will always be there, man. You got a family?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah? Kids?
I got 3 kids.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Good for you,
I got
man.
2 boys and a baby girl.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's why I do it for. That's why I, you know, try so hard.
Yeah. So the kids, they know what you do. They've been with you in the studio and recording stuff like
my
that.
kid, like my middle son already knows the deal. Like as soon as my music comes on, he's like, "That's daddy, that's daddy." He already know what my my songs are.
Yeah.
My oldest stays up into up to date to all my videos, all my singles, everything. He's the first to listen to it. Even sometimes I'll show him before I really record my work. I'll show him and see what he thinks. He'll always get first dibs.
Yeah.
And I think he likes that, He's like, all right, and when I show him the done work, he's like, that's the same song? Like, he'd be confused. He'd be, like, surprised. I'm like, yeah, that's the same song that I showed you. And he's like, wow, it sounds good. And just seeing them like that, the reaction like that is just, I love it, man. That's why I do it. Like, to make them happy, become an idol to them, and that's it.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Having these kids that look up to you like that, and
yeah,
it's
also scary.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta watch your every move, gotta watch everything you do.
Yeah, it is. Changes you as a person.
Definitely changed me for the better.
That first kid, yeah, man.
Yeah,
it definitely changes you as a person having those kids. So, yep. And hopefully for the better, usually for the better for most people. Yeah, for me it was.
Thought
me,
after
definitely
2,
was.
I was like, ain't no changing me after this. And it's, with a girl still changing me. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. So 2 boys and a girl?
Yeah.
So your youngest is a girl?
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah.
At least she protected by her brothers when I'm not around.
Yeah.
Thank God.
No, that's good stuff, man. That's all good. How does it break down? Every artist works a little bit different as far as recording in the studio. Because you mentioned your son listened to something and they heard it again. And he said, "Was that same song?" So how does the process? If you're gonna record something, how does that work? Do you lay down a beat first? Do you find a beat? Do you work with people that create that? How does it all work? Like for you?
Honestly, it works in different ways. Like, if it's somebody, hitting me up like, yo, bro, I need you on this song, feel the vibe. If I like it, I'll be like, let's do it. And, I'll keep working on that song every day until I get it. But when it's my own music, I honestly wait till until like I have a feeling like I have something to say, if that makes sense. Like, for example, like arguing with my girl or fighting one of my boys or being drunk and getting kicked out of a bar, stuff. Anything that happens is like, all right, but how can I talk about this without, letting the world know what I'm doing and posting it on social media or something? Mm-hmm. Let me just get a beat going. As soon as I feel the beat, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you'll feel the beat. You'll feel the beat and it's like, all right, I'm going to talk on this. Once you feel the beat, you talk on it. I write it down. Sometimes I don't finish the song right away. I'll go right back to it the next day, when I'm fresh, back at it again. But sometimes if I'm really into it, like, I'll literally finish that whole song, depending on how I'm feeling. If I'm deep in my feelings, which I hate to say, sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
That's when I could probably write 2 or 3, But everything is just depending on the vibe that I'm feeling.
Do you try to carve out a day, 2 days, couple hours during the day to like, all right, I gotta write today, or I gotta do something today, or is it just, or you you're driving, you're like, oh, I got something, I gotta go home and do that, or is it a little bit of both?
I would say it's when I know I'm gonna be home alone.
Okay.
Like, I'll talk to my girl. I'll be like, well, if you're doing anything tomorrow, I'm gonna need some time to write. Are you doing anything? She'll tell me. If I'm off of work, we'll make something happen. and she'll know how I am. I'm like, yo, just leave the house to me. Let me do what I gotta do. Y'all can show up later. Cause I can't do it too much when there's people around. I'm not too focused.
Yeah.
I'm worrying about what my son is doing, and
Yeah,
you know, it's
I
just a
gotcha.
parent thing. But I have to be home alone or locked in a studio. That's the only way
Yeah.
it's gonna get done.
Do you have one studio you mostly use? You got a couple?
Yeah, actually, there's one that I normally go to about 9, 10 out of times. I go to Jordan Meyer. Shout
Yeah.
outs to him in South Windsor.
Yeah.
When it's not him, you know, I'll go to I haven't been there in a while. Hi-Fi Studios.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
go to Hi-Fi Studios in West Haven.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go there once in a while. But that's really it. I usually have my go-to guy, which is Jordan Meyer. He knows my
Right.
sound. Like,
Yeah.
he knows the plugins I want to use. He knows the flavor I want. Like,
Yeah.
we're just comfortable to that stage where we know what we're gonna do, how we're gonna get it done, and how we're gonna push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard of High Five Studios in West Haven. Yeah, there's a couple recording studios. There's a lot of recording studios in Connecticut.
Definitely.
I mean, there's a ton. You wouldn't think
I've been
there's that
to-
many, but there's
been
a,
to
there's a
plenty.
ton of them.
Yeah, been
Yeah.
to plenty. Now there's plenty more I still hear about that I haven't had a chance to try yet. But
Yeah.
there's definitely plenty.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different sound depending on what kind of song you want to drop too. Like,
Yeah.
I've had other studios that done a better job than, you know, my guy now. But my guy just knows 9, 10 out of the times, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah. It probably has a lot to do with maybe the building, just the studio itself, the producer, whoever's behind the controls.
Yeah,
They'll hear things different. They have different microphones and
Right.
recording equipment, so on and so
Everything's
forth.
different,
Everything
yeah.
makes a difference. Yeah.
the way the engineer work with voices, like,
Yeah.
could be anything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I worked with a guy down here in West Haven for a while. He's been there for a long time, but yeah, everything has a different sound. Now, what about video? So you post a lot of video. Do you do video for all your songs, or the
Not
major
all
ones?
of them. I would definitely only do it if I have a project coming. I mean, you know, there's been times when, you know, I made a feature with somebody and they're like, yo, we gotta go half on the video. We gotta do it. We gotta make it happen. And I'll be like, all right, let's do it. Visuals for me are important anyway, so I'll invest into anything that's got to do with music and my image and all that.
Because what I was getting to is
yeah.
when we shot that video back then, and I've shot a number of music videos. What I mostly focus on is sort of live video. I do mostly like singer-songwriter, you know, classic rock and roll kind of stuff. So shooting your video is a little bit different
yeah.
than the stuff I normally do. But man, I got to tell you, I had a really good time. You had a good crew out there. It was a great location. Shout out to Aaron Sandler for producing that one. Yeah, so it was a different experience. You mainly have your one guy, Jamie, with you now? Does he shoot most of your video?
He shoots a lot of, you know, my work in visual ways, but I do have 2 other videographers that I go to. You know, I like to bounce around different videographers just because to me it's more like networking. You know, I like to network. I want other people. I want to see what other people's style is like. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm always like that. I'm always gonna have different options for everything.
Yeah.
Like, this person's gonna do this video. This person's gonna do that video.
Yeah. You did one in a gym, right?
Did I run in the gym?
No, you shot a video in a gym.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Long time ago with Aaron too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on that one. I helped. I forgot who shot it. This guy came in. God, he had a lot of energy. He was moving around, but I helped him. I do some lighting on that one. Remember that one?
Thinking,
Was that was?
I think it was like underground something, right?
Forget the gym. It was.
It was definitely like a
bar-
martial arts gym.
You're in a ring, in like
for
a
the
boxing
Be Bout
ring.
It video.
Yeah, what was it?
Be Bout It.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, with Manuel and Hartford Poe. Shout out to them
That's
too.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, the shout outs to those guys. They're very talented CT artists as well.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that's right. You had 2 other guys in that one.
Yeah, that video was fun too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was another one that we just like stumbled and it just happened to be like that.
Yeah.
It was like, I heard this guy on a freestyle and I said, whoa, I got to put him on a song. then I heard another freestyle like the day after, and I'm like, whoa, you know what? I'm gonna put him on the song too.
Yeah.
And they didn't even know they were gonna be on the song together. I just had both these artists come in at the same time and did their thing, and boom, done.
Is that how it works? Do you hear different people? You're like, that's a really great sound for this
Yeah,
song I want to do.
that's usually how I pick my features, you know. I'll be
Okay.
like, yo, I hear this person on this song for sure, and I'll hit them up and try to make it work. If not, I'll usually try to finesse it myself and just finish it my own way. But I usually try to, you know, it's just like Kanye West does. You know, Kanye will listen to a beat, he'll automatically hear voices for that beat, which it'll include his own and somebody else's most of the time. And then, as you know, he'll make phone calls. And if you ever seen the Kanye West documentary that's out now, that thing motivated me. And it shows a lot of the movements that I be doing too. And it shows me like, man, that could happen to me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not that far away from here either, you know.
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah. What else motivates you? That's really good. So Kanye, you get some motivation out of him. Like who's one of your heroes, inspirations when you were coming up? You know, who did you kind of look up to, admire?
I would definitely have to say Eminem or Lil Wayne. Those two, like everyone says, I'm like a mixed style of both. You know, when I'm trying to drop deep underground hip hop music, I'll be more into the storytelling and like Eminem, type of wave. But when I'm all about bars, I get all that from Lil Wayne. When I start spitting bars, punchlines, similes, anything that's gonna, sound dope, metaphors, like, Wayne is a killer with that, like, and I listened to a lot of the music as a kid, like, word for word, so it's like, damn, if Weezy could just drop another album, man, that'd be dope, like, Eminem, he just came out with a few not that long ago. Shout out to him, but I would definitely like to hear some more Weezy.
Any other music you listen to besides hip hop, rap? Any?
I'm not really picky. I actually listen to some rock, some classical music.
Yeah.
I'll listen to R&B. I'll listen to, believe it or not, I actually listen to a lot of country too.
Okay. Yeah, country's getting bigger.
Country was the thing is, man, I get into country for some reason when I used to drink heavy.
Yeah.
Every time I was drunk, I would get deep into country. Like, that was it for me. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
But I always wanted to listen to country, like.
Yeah.
But I'm not really picky. If it has a good sound and I like what they're talking about, I'm most likely, like, I have a very, very wide playlist.
You think you have influence from country? I mean, you must have influences maybe that you don't even know about from the different music you listen to that you weave into your own art,
I've
Can
tried
you think
it.
of anything?
It's influenced me to try it, and I've actually tried some country music, and it's just like, it's hard. This is not my kind of like thing to do, but yeah, I like country because I like the way they express their emotions on it, on their instruments and all that. They get deep, man, and they say some real shit sometimes. It's just like that hip hop. It's just speaking just like soul music. That's the type of music I like. Soul, storytelling, hip hop. Like, I don't really like to just rap about nothing.
Yeah. Well, you touch on that. Your story, your raps are about events that happen to you or feelings that you're having, stuff like that. So it's not just about random.
Right. I just dropped
like
a new video called Perkies in a single, and it talked about my perk addiction and me beating perk addiction and all that, and being 3-4 years clean now.
Nice.
And that just dropped too, so definitely look into that. That's still streaming. It's been out for about 10 days now.
Yeah, we'll put some links in the descriptions. People can check that stuff out.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be an album also. So
nice.
Single off that.
Yeah. So do you have a full-length album? You're working on a full-length album right now?
Yeah,
where are you with
I'm working
that?
on the Local 2 album. I dropped Local 1, I think it was 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago. And right now, I hate to say it, but I can't drop a single right now, and it's been 2 years, but I can't drop no singles, no tracks, no EPs that beats the number of streams that local one project had gotten.
Okay.
Like, I just can't. The numbers just keep going up, and people love that album. So I thought, maybe just sit down, focus, take some time off, and just get your mind right, and just let's do part 2 to it. And that's what I've been doing. I took about 4 or 5 months off music, just to.
Oh, you did. Just
stack
sort of
up a lot of money,
regroup and.
Look into networking, see who's working, see what features I can get, see what beats I can find. That's where I really sit down and just stay on the internet for a while. Research everything I gotta do, and then that's honestly, as far as the album Local 2, I'm switching the subject just because I don't know when I'm gonna release it yet. I'm hoping to release it May. But let's hope so.
May's coming up.
May, yeah, man. Yeah. It's gonna be about 12 songs on there.
Nice.
I wouldn't say it's the same sound and energy that the first one had brought, but it's gonna be similar, and y'all gonna honestly hear a much more mature version of me.
Mm-hmm.
Not always wilding out, going crazy, and all that. Just more focus on really making it. And that's it. Like, I'm tired of that local stuff, I really just want to prove to y'all this is it for me. Enjoy it while it lasts, because I'm going to take off soon.
Nice. Yeah, man.
That's that.
What about live shows? You do live shows? It's been 2 years.
It's been a minute.
It's been a mess.
I miss performing. That's one thing for sure. I miss performing. Like, I wish I can do it again. I'll have my opportunities soon, especially, once I start promoting this album. I know I'll definitely have some opportunities open. I'll reach for opportunities as well. I'm going to make sure, I knock on every door of opportunities. I don't care if they don't open up or not, man. I'm really just trying to make this happen. And I have a real, real, real good feeling about this year. I really do. Especially about summertime.
Yeah. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk about your album. How long is it? You're still recording it?
Yes.
You're still recording. How long have you been recording so far?
I've been recording, I started January.
You did? Okay.
As soon as it turned to the new year, that's when I made my first call. Yo, need the studio for this day for 5 hours. Boom.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, glad to have you back. I'm
nice.
Like, yup, needed some time off.
You do 1 track a day. You do a couple tracks a day. 2 days for a track. Does it depend on what you're recording?
Yeah, it really all depends on how much I get done in that timing that I have. Like, in those 5 hours, usually I could get done completely mixed, master, recorded, everything. About 2-3 songs in those 5 hours.
Wow,
completely, okay. So if you think about it,
but you know exactly what you're going to record, right? You got all your elements ready to go.
Right.
You get it.
I usually go in there with it memorized, but I'll still look into my notes, you know, just if I have to. But I'll go in there with everything fully written, memorized, flow written, in my head and ready to go. I'll have the beat sent to him, so by the time I'm there, he's already has it set up, and we just get straight to work. We don't really waste time in there unless we're talking about how we're gonna fix.
Well, you can, man. You're on the clock. You gotta get going. It's work.
He's really about his business, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because time is money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. How many takes, for instance, you do? A couple? Maybe you ever have that moment where you do 1 take and that's it? We're done.
Yeah, actually, I do those a lot.
Do you?
Do the 1 take, hits, the 1 take verses. But for some reason, my hardest ones will be the hooks. For some reason, like, I can't do hooks 1 take. It's hard for me. I want to, perfect that hook. That hook is very important to me in that song because that's what's going to attract the people. That's what's going to get it stuck in their head. The melody, all that's going to be important for the hook. It's going to basically tell them what the whole thing is about, the topic.
So is that like would that be like the I guess the chorus, if you will?
The chorus, the hook, yep. So that's why I stress that a lot. Like, the chorus is always so important for me. And once I get a chorus, I'll write the verses. The rapping part is easy for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just do that, knock it down quick, boom, boom, work on the hooks, and then he's usually the one that'll tell me like, oh, add this, add that, take this off, and redo this, and we basically a team, you feel me?
Yeah.
So,
Any thought of putting together like? Well, before I get to that question, let's finish with this album. How many more tracks you have to record?
I have about 4 more.
You got about 4 more.
Yeah, I have 8 done.
Nice.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
8 done. I have 2 I'm promoting right now, and it's a album of 12 songs.
Nice. And what's the name of it?
Local 2.
Local 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
And how you releasing that?
That's why I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
It really all depends on when I can finally get this release date, and I can work around that. But I'm gonna go crazy promoting this, bro.
Yeah.
I'm seriously gonna stamp this everywhere. Like, I
Yeah.
have to go hard this time. I did it, socially, through social media and apps and all that for the last album. But this time I want to do it, locally as well and globally and.
Album release party type thing?
Definitely album release. I'm gonna do a single release also for one of my singles coming soon. So that's 2 release parties.
Yeah.
Hopefully get some exposure off that. And more podcast interviews.
That's it. Yeah.
Gotta get some more.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch of us out there that do this. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit up the local news. They put you on. Maybe.
It's funny
I don't know.
'cause
I don't know how
Jordan
they
was
work. I
telling
used
me
to do
about
news.
that.
I don't know what they do anymore over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see.
Yeah.
I have something, to give them.
But it's good. There's a lot happening in Connecticut. I mean, you got hip hop and rap. There's a lot of country here. There's a lot of singer songwriter guys. There's a lot of rock and roll. And you wouldn't think little Connecticut like this would have a lot of different types of music, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a ton going
talented
on.
people out
yeah,
here.
there is. Anybody you know, whether personally or by acquaintance or through somebody else that started here in Connecticut and now is just killing it, maybe, just really doing well and making a living out of this and doing what they need to do?
I will have to say Sholey.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Sholey. He's a Bridgeport artist right now. He's doing his thing. His name's buzzing. Good followers, good amount of streams, good amount of monthly listeners,
Yeah.
He's doing his thing, man. Shout out to him. He's working with some, celebrities too right now,
Good.
people in the industry. I actually just, invested in him also. He's heard I'm a CT artist. We worked together. He worked with my budget. We made it happen.
Nice.
And yeah, that's actually the next single that I'm going to be promoting soon. So we got a video for that coming out
Right on.
also. That's on the album. So
Yeah, man.
that's more hype for the album right there.
Yeah, right on.
Shout out to him, man. That dude definitely pushes me, man.
Yeah.
He definitely, I remember like a year ago, he was only at about like 6,000 followers. Now he's at like 12,000.
Okay.
So
Not bad.
He's working, definitely working, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah. Would you ever think about leaving Connecticut? I mean, or this is it? You're here. This is where you're gonna make it. You're gonna. There's always a thing like you got to go to L.A. You got to go to New York. Got to go to
Right.
Nashville or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, Mass, Jersey, and New York has always been on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as family goes, like they honestly, as a family all together, we just don't feel ready right now. If we do end up moving, it's gonna be somewhere on the East Coast, just
Yeah.
because I really don't want to move far away from my oldest son.
Yeah.
Because that's he lives in Hartford with
Yeah.
my first baby mother, so I don't want to live too far from him where I gotta fly somewhere to see him every few weeks. Like
Yeah. No, I
can't
got
do
you.
it,
Yeah, I got you.
and financially can't do it every weekend, if we were to fly somewhere. So right now, just locally, just to keep the family close. And if I gotta go make some moves in New York, Jersey, or Mass, man, I'll drive there.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything it takes. But for right now, CT's where I'm at. I'm gonna
Nice.
stay here for a while.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you're a good spot. You got Boston. You got Jersey. You got New York.
Yeah.
Not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Mhm.
As much as Connecticut's.
Opportunities here are
A
getting
little
much
funky,
better
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
a
no,
lot
they are.
more, A lot more definitely as the years go. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots
So
of
what,
good things coming.
what's in the future? You know, you got this album coming out. You looking past this album of new collaborations, new sort of sounds you're going after. Anything coming up in the future that you've been thinking about?
Well, no future plans for right now. The main future is this album right now. That's where all my focus is going, and you know, if it ain't family, it's that album, and nothing, you know, is gonna distract me for right now. I'm only looking to get that album done. I'm not even doing features right now at the moment like that. If I am, I'm not looking to release anything anytime soon to disrupt, you know, the project. So, man, it's just the visions I have for this summer is like I just can't wait. So I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to make more videos happen. Shit, if I could, I'd probably do a video for every song on the album. Like, that's how bad I want to expose this album, you know?
Yeah.
So, promotion, that's going to be my next goal right now on this album. That's it, just promo.
Yeah.
Getting it everywhere.
So Instagram, social media, what is it, Facebook, Instagram?
Yep.
Where else are you on?
Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah.
Yep.
Do any TikTok?
Thriller, TikTok I got
Thriller?
also. Yeah, I got Thriller, yep.
That's a I don't know that one.
You don't know that one? It's basically just like one of those. It's like a TikTok almost, but you do like dancing and like edited videos to your own music or a song out there.
How long's that been around?
It was actually around before TikTok. TikTok just blew up and started doing a million other things, you know. But it's been around for like I would have to say 5 years now.
Okay,
yeah.
Never heard of it.
It's pretty good. I think there was one more. Nah, I think that was it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you get the most success with? Which one? Which platform?
I would have to say Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook is where all my big numbers come from. I've been focusing on Instagram this year though, cause you know the IG reels and the stories is what's bumping right now. That's what people want to see more. So.
You ever do anything live, like a Facebook Live, like event? Anything like that, record in the studio live, that'd be actually kind of cool to do. Good promotion right there, man. Do a little Facebook Live in the studio. I
definitely like to go live a lot, you know. I didn't go live, you know, today just because, you know, we got the behind the scenes guy. But I definitely like to go live, especially Facebook or IG. I'll go IG live or whatever. Okay. They won't let me go to TikTok live yet just because they want me to have like a certain amount of followers, right? Or something like that. So
Gotcha.
But yeah, lives definitely help. IG lives though, they don't like to stay for too long, so I try not to do too many. You know, if I do an IG live, I'll keep it up for an hour, delete it, and then that's that. But I like to just stay on the reels. They'll stay there for 24 hours, you know.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you do a ton of video. So we're doing behind the scenes here. You do have your regular music videos.
Right.
Do you do a lot of behind the scenes stuff? You do your live, you do some stuff with your phone, but do you have like stuff in the studio that Jamie will come or one of your video guys come in and shoot some behind the scenes and you post that? You do anything like that?
Yeah, the reason he's actually doing this is because he's working on a project right now. Basically, my process working on this album from beginning to finish, the process that I'm doing. And, you know, the steps I'm taking and how I'm getting there and what I'm doing to get them done. And he's recording literally everything. So from the first song to me going to the studio and recording it, to shooting the videos, to coming to podcast to talk about it, you know, like he's fine. He's basically shooting everything, making sure he gets it all, and he's going to just release it all as one.
Love it.
Before the album release, just to promote it that way. Give people an idea of who I am before they, you know, dig into the project, you know, for those who don't know who I am yet. And if they do know, you know, maybe find out things they don't know about me, just so when they do hear it, they're not too surprised, but more excited, you know.
Yeah, nice. How much of your, how many follows have you gained since you started with, you said when you were, 8, 9, writing stuff?
11.
11, sorry. Started handing stuff. When were you bringing tapes out to the street? How old were you then?
When I first started selling my first mixtape, I was 19.
19, okay.
19, I sold my first mixtape, yeah.
All right.
I remember I literally just sold, I think 20, and then the rest of them I just gave away.
Okay.
Just because for me, I was only accepting the money if it was somebody that knew me, just because I knew they would support me.
Yeah.
If I didn't know them, I didn't want to take the money unless I knew they were going to like the album. I mean, the mixtape.
Oh, get out.
So I literally,
So it's not, it never been a money thing for you.
it's never been a money thing. I'm just basically showing how much it takes,
Yeah.
and how much I'm sacrificing to make it happen.
Yeah.
But it's never going to stop me.
Yeah.
That's why I bust my ass working. I do what I got to do, keep the family, good, bills paid,
Yeah.
music later.
Yeah.
Still make it happen. There's always going to be space to make something happen.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something you love doing, so.
Yeah. Well, that's what's keeping you. If you didn't like it, you wouldn't be doing it.
Exactly, yeah.
Or at least not putting in the effort and the money and the time.
Right.
It's
And-
more than a hobby for you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I definitely, I touched some souls in my time, man.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
My music has as well, and that's what pushes me every day. There's things that, that I've done for people through my music that pushed them, and then that right there, I'm just like, damn. I know people who sing my lyrics, while the music's playing.
How does that make you feel?
It's an amazing
People
feeling.
singing stuff you wrote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my girl does it sometimes. My girl, will sing some of my music, and I'll forget my own words, and I'm like, damn. So I should have you on stage with me, and it's not just her, I'll go to work, they be like, oh, you make music. Just that feeling is amazing, man. I just want to be a change and make a difference, I don't want to be just a regular person.
Yeah.
It's just not me. I want to be something. I want to be someone, feel me?
Yeah.
So I felt like growing up as a kid, I was always, just, I can't even say, what's the word, isolated.
Mm-hmm.
I was just isolated. Now I'm just trying to be all out everywhere. Facing, catch me. It ain't plus I was always, the one that everyone used to point bad fingers at, so now I just want to show them that I'm doing something right. The best thing I can do. No one can say nothing bad about my music. What am I going to do? I'm making music. You telling me I'm affecting people bad because of my music? So be it.
Yeah, I know.
It is what it is. There's going to be people I'm motivating, so.
Yeah.
It's like that with everything, though.
I mean, you can't, there's that saying, you can't please everybody, and there's just no way you can.
Right.
In my line of work and your music.
Trying to please everybody will drive you crazy.
And you'll end up failing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's the worst part. And you won't be doing what you love. I mean, this is it's an art for you, and that's good, man. You're sticking with it. You're not worrying about the money. The money will be there, and you're doing what you love.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that shows in your music.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
trying to the quality. I'm trying to make it go greater and get better, and I feel like it's definitely been working. People have been taking me more serious as the quality is getting better,
Yeah.
So.
Can you see, that's actually interesting. So if you were to play back, and you probably have, some stuff you recorded however many years ago,
man.
you listen to it,
I just wish I could have done a lot of things differently,
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Especially music-wise, recording my music, I never cared that much about my sound. I just wanted to get the music out.
Okay.
Now it's just so important for me. It's crazy.
So everything, because it's still, the words are still important, the music's still important.
And
but
people wouldn't take
but
me serious if they hear,
Yeah.
a muffled,
Yeah.
something that sounds like it's recorded,
Yeah, I get you.
It's just, it was tougher like that, so
Yeah.
I never really wanted to spend big money. I'm like, no, I was playing the cheap dude, I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
paying that, because I was so used to me recording my own music.
Yeah.
But it had to take me time to actually, accept it and just say, you know what, this is stopping you from doing what you want to do. Just let it go. And since then, man.
So you made that jump.
I made that jump, and I made that choice, and I'm never gonna regret it. So.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's just right. It's just a tool, right? It's just a better. You're still doing the same thing. It's just a better tool.
Right.
It's just a better tool for doing. That's what all this stuff is, man. They're just tools. And
Right.
We're still all doing the same thing. It's just we're using better tools to
Exactly.
get it out there.
And using them better.
Yeah,
You
we're
know?
using them better. We got better tools, and we're using them
Right.
better, and gives a better experience to the end user, to the listener, to the viewer.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's
every
what it's
day I'm
about.
learning stuff, man. Every single day I'm learning something.
Yeah.
Every studio session I learn something new, you know.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna stop learning something. So
Good.
I'm okay with the fact, you know, how everything is, you know, time consuming wise and everything.
Yeah. Now, is your girl all right with what you're doing? I mean, I don't know. You out late at night doing shows and stuff like that, recording. I mean, is there some days where she says like, "Oh, come on, man, you got to stay home with me and the kids. Why do you got to go out and record?" Is there any kind of that stuff? Or I'm assuming she's very supportive.
Yeah, she's definitely very supportive.
What's your name, your girl?
Her name Anna.
Anna.
Anna Baez, yes. It's my baby right there. She supports me a lot, but I mean, it's hard, you know, like, when I'm doing, you know, everything that I can and she's not always there, she can't be happy all the time, and I'm okay with that, you know. She's gonna want me home sometimes. So
Yeah.
I understand, you know, frustration is gonna happen here and there.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, if I'm locked in the studio for about 6 hours, or I'm always out recording something and making a move, or I'm spending money on this when I could be spending it on this, you know. But in the end of the day, she always, you know, makes sure I'm happy first, and that's why.
Yeah.
That's why she's in the position she's in, and I'm with her, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's a balance too, right? I mean, everything is that.
we support
It's
each
gotta
other
be balanced.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you need, cause you know, like when you don't have that support, you really don't want to do it. You don't.
Yeah.
You literally like you want to at times, but then you're just like you don't feel it's worth it just because of people around you and all that.
Yeah.
She actually be like, "So how was the studio session today?" And then I'll tell her straight up, and then I'll show her what I got. She'll be like, "Wow," like, and that's what I like. I don't want to hear it. You know, you're out doing your thing. You know, I'm just grateful for what I got.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah, it shows.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's good. Tell us one more time. I think we're going to wrap things up. This has been great having you here
Definitely, yeah.
in the studio.
Yeah.
Again, we're with Flakko, DirectLine Media Studios down here in Brantford. Getting this off, and it's been great to have you down here, man, behind the brand, talking about your brand. You know that. You know, we'll wrap up in a minute, but this is behind the brand. We didn't talk too much about your brand. We talked about Flakko and how you got the name. It's not just something you came out with. It's actually a name. It was given to you by your friends and everything. What does it mean to you to have? I mean, it used to be just a name, right? What does it mean to you now?
Well, I got Flakko as the name, but I also had the brand Peso Mob. So Peso Mob, honestly, that name. What I used to run with, let's just start from the beginning. What I used to run with was Block Style. That's the group that me and my brother had became, our little rap group, and we started doing music, and this is when we were doing like recording anything, anywhere, and just trying to get our music out. And then one day, like I had show opportunities, and people were saying my music was the content needed to be better, and quality was not good enough. It needs to be better. And that's when I thought I need to change my look, like just make an official brand and then start over. And that's when I came up with Peso Mob. I literally just started over from there, and that's when my quality content, I started spending money on big studios, spending money on big videos, to radio interviews, spending big money on that. That's when I really started focusing, because that's honestly when Peso Mob was starting to get noticed a lot more. So that's what I really want to do as, when I become successful, is I want to make my own label, and that's Peso Mob. I want to help other artists who don't have the opportunities I had, I want to be able to help them chase their dreams, There's a lot of people around my circle who I feel are more talented than me, and they just don't have, the access or the connections and the people, or even the equipment to, even the money to get them where they need to go, So that's where I want to help, And my thing is I always feel better when I help people too. So that's
So Peso Mob. So that's your label.
That's my label. Yeah.
Is that what you release things under?
Right.
Release songs under?
Peso
And
Mob.
Peso Mob. So
Yeah.
peso is
Dollar.
a dollar,
Yeah.
and then mob. So dollar mob.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Basically, like,
that's how smart I
we
am.
keep it a buck.
Yeah.
That's why we called it that. Yeah, peso is
Yeah.
a dollar in Spanish, so
Yeah.
which is loyalty, honesty, and that's it.
Yeah. Right on. So that's what you're building.
That's what I'm trying to build. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the goal.
Awesome. Well, listen, man. So great having you on. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah.
Really good having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
It's good to be
absolutely.
here.
Anything?
Yeah,
Let's do this. Any last closing remarks, and then why don't you tell us, where people can look for this album coming up.
You can find me on IG, Peso Mob Flakko, Flakko, Flakko Perez on Facebook, Peso Mob Flakko on Twitter, TikTok, IG, everywhere. Snapchat, holla at me, follow me. I wish I had a release date for this album. Local 2, though, is coming out this summer. Get ready for it, hopefully May. And with singles like Perky's and I Got Me featuring Sholey, so expect that. CT Summer, we taking over, Peso Mob the label, holla at me.
That's it. Nice.
That's it, man.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's it. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.